That was just 3 seconds. So you can see that it's chopped the onion beautifully in 3 seconds. And I'm not crying either, people. Not a tear inside. Right, so 20 grams of olive oil. So tare to make sure that it's on 0. And then I just weigh 20 grams of oil. 3 fresh sage leaves. 1, 2, 3. We grow our own fresh herbs in the garden. Herbs are such a simple thing to grow and it saves you a lot of money. Without the measuring cup, so I'll take the measuring cup off the lid, leave the lid on. And this is going to cook for 5 minutes. So while that's cooking, I earlier got the sage leaves, heated up some oil and just fried them off a little bit in the oil. Makes them nice and crunchy, and they will go on top at the end of the dish. And they were fresh out of my garden. Now the other thing that we use in this is ricotta. Ricotta cheese can be made in the Thermomix with 2 ingredients, full cream milk and vinegar, white vinegar. It's really a simple thing to make and a simple staple. You don't have to run down to the supermarket if you've got milk in the fridge. I'll just get the ricotta out to show you. While we're just waiting for this to cook, I'm just going to pop the sage leaves on top. Gives it a bit of colour and flavour. I have these retub containers. They're great for hot meals, for hot lunches, to take to work. I can put it in a container and just sit that aside. That's just to show you what it's finished like, but we're going to go through the whole process. I found last night when I made this that having the second bowl blade and lid was really helpful, and it was already a quick recipe, but it just speeds things up to have that second bowl blade and lid. So it's definitely worth, before the end of the month, to get on board and get yourself one of those. Get a few friends together and do an online demo. We've got 2.5 minutes left. Yeah, so is there anything that you wanted to add, Sam? Oh, we've got 2 minutes.
Sure, Mon, I will. If you just mute yourself, if you want me to fill in that 2-minute gap, I can talk all day, so that's fine for me. There are a couple of non-owners on here, so I will just use that opportunity to go through, share my screen with you, if that's okay, and show you what you're getting as a gift with purchase. Let me just show that for you. And I'll also show you what we're cooking today as well. So we'll start with that. So what I couldn't decide. Have you ever gone on to Cookadoo and there's so many yummy things on there, you just can't decide what to make? If you want to take a screenshot right now, this was my options that I was thinking of doing today. Absolutely divine Mexican quinoa stuffed aubergine. I'm going to be showcasing the feta, spinach and potato frittata. I'm also going to show you how to do a freestyle whole cauliflower. I'm not going to use this recipe per se, but I am going to show you a quicker way to do things there. If you haven't tried falafel, absolutely amazing. And another great one, cauliflower tacos with chipotle sauce. If you're one of my customers, I'm having a cook along, and on Thursday night I'm going to be making those cauliflower tacos with chipotle sauce, and I'd love you to join me. Mon, if you're ready to go back on, that's fine. So the other thing, oh, I've shared the wrong screen. Sorry about that. Technical issues. Share the wrong screen. Are you finished with your, are you ready to come back, Mon?
Yep, I can come back on now. Got 30 seconds left. That's just sauteing away still. I don't know if everyone caught the colour of the pumpkin at the moment, because pumpkin's in season. I love the fresh colours of fresh food. And I've found since having my Thermomix that I'm using much more fresh herbs and fresh food and getting a much healthier meal through the family. So we've got 5 seconds to go. 2, 1. Just going to cool it down a second. And next. So that's all nicely sauteed away. I have lots of cans of tomatoes in the cupboard. They are very, very handy to make things from pizza sauce to a pasta meal. 50 grams of tomato paste. So the Thermomix, for the non-owners out there, the Thermomix is actually weighing everything that I put in. So I don't have to weigh that separately as I go. 150 grams of water. So tag to 0. Grams of vegetable stock. Keep my vegetable stock in the freezer, last 6 months. Alright, so here's where the genius of the Thermomix is going to happen in action. Put my varoma back on. I've got my sauce in the bottom, my pumpkin in the varoma. Turn it on, and 15 minutes later we're going to have cooked sauce and cooked pumpkin ready to go in the into the cannelloni. Yeah, so just a hint, when you make your stock paste, it lasts for 3 months in the fridge, but 6 months in the freezer, and you're still able to scoop it from the freezer. Because of the salt content, it stops it from fully locking over into a nice block. All right, so we've got 15 minutes, Sam. I don't know what you would like to do with 15 minutes.
Yeah, you obviously didn't get your memo this morning, Mon. We're over to you, Jem. Jem, are you ready?
Yep, we're ready.
Awesome. Jem's going to show us another beautiful kitchen and another beautiful recipe. Thanks, Jem.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Mon. So hi guys, I'm Gemma. I'm new to the Thermomix business, so bear with me while I get used to this. Today I'm showing you guys stuffed zucchinis, and I've already prepped some of them, so I've already cut out the inserts of some, but I've got one here that I'm just going to show you. So I just used an ice cream scoop. Found it the best way to make sure I didn't take too much, because you want to make sure you've got enough of a border that your stuffing's not going to go everywhere when you finish your cooking. And you want to save the flesh, because that will be used in the mix, in the stuffing. This recipe today is on cookadoo. And when I do a quick search, there's so many different vegetables you could do stuffed. So there's mushrooms, pumpkin, tomatoes, and they all had awesome different ideas for ways to do stuffing. I did this much easier this morning when you weren't watching me. Save that for later. Now, I've already brought it up on my screen, but we're going to put it into the varoma. And you can just pop them all in. It doesn't matter how they are. And they're going to steam in there for us. So that's my varoma, and I've got 3 zucchinis all halved in there. We'll season them with a bit of oil and salt and pepper. So just some olive oil. Just put on a little bit of salt. And some pepper. Put about 500 grams of water in the bowl just for the steaming. Varoma dish goes on top. And that's going to take 12 minutes to steam them. Sam, I think, is going to begin her cooking, and we're going to come back to me when these are done, and then I'll be able to show you how we're going to make the stuffing and what we're going to put in it. Thanks, Sam.
That was awesome, Jem. Thank you. Thank you. Has anyone made any of these recipes before? So far you've seen Jem make the stuffed zucchini, and I put a little comment in the chat group there. So if any consultants that are on tonight, when one of the other ones is presenting, if you want to add some comments to those recipes, that would be great. So I'm going to showcase mine now, and just going to make sure my view's on the right one. Jem, are you muted? Yep, okay, beautiful, good. All right, and so I'm going to show you the feta, spinach and potato frittata. Oh, one more person coming in. I just admit him. All right, so we found the recipe. I've already found the recipe on my Thermomix screen, and I'm just going to click start. With the TM6, one of the major differences is the size of that screen, and the other difference is the memory capacity. So this is double memory size than your TM5, and obviously double your TM31 memory size as well. Preheat your oven to 200 degrees. Grease a deep-sided baking dish and set aside. So everyone probably got one of these Pyrex dishes in their pantry somewhere. This is what I'm using today. And half a red onion. In it goes. Insert measuring cup. So when you're chopping with your Thermomix, for those people who don't have one, everything is you're saving so much time. So the rule of thumb is to chop everything as wide as the hole in the lid, and the Thermomix will do the rest for you. Clicking next, and it's going to chop for 3 seconds on speed 5. There we go. How easy is that? Transfer into a large bowl and set aside. So there's your onion, nice and chopped, nice and even too. And again, does everyone know, the last cooking class I showed everybody how to peel an onion without frying it. Does anyone not know how to do that? If you type in the chat, and then one of my girls will let me know some of those comments that are coming in the chat that I can answer in my cook time. If you type any questions in the chat, one of the girls can read those out and I can answer those for you. 100 grams of cheddar cheese. Now, if you don't have cheddar, use whatever you've got. So I think I've got a bit more here. 99, that'll do. And insert the measuring cup into mixing bowl lid. Chop that on speed 6 for 5 seconds. add your feta. So when you're grating cheese, so the Thermomix will grate the cheese, and when you're grating, if you wanted to have a nice chunk, I'm not happy with that. I must have cut my chunks too big, so that's okay. It's really great to troubleshoot together. Click on the back arrow, top left of your screen, and then do that again. And I'm only going to do that a couple of seconds because I think that's all it needs. So when you want to interrupt your machine, you just push the button, and then you can interrupt it. No, I was wrong. Okay, beautiful. And then add my feta. I'll show you that. Delayed release locking arms, and what that means is more safety. That's better. So chopping your cheese, grating your cheese, you've got, you can do 10 seconds on speed 10 and you get a really fine chop. And if you do 5 seconds on speed 10, for instance, with the cheddar, you'll get a chunkier chop, which is great. So we've got 200 grams going in here. This is my kitchen, so I'm allowed to use my fingers, okay? I'm so sorry you don't get to eat this yummy food today, but I do hope you make this. I have so many vegetarian dishes that I could recommend you. This one is just such an easy winner, and I've got a large family of 6, so it's really great to feed a crowd. So that's the reason I wanted to showcase this one. Check that out. Now, how long would that take you if you had your grater? So, who's oh, that is just not going to work for me, is it? Give me 1 sec. I'll get a bigger bowl. Why is it when you chop everything that you need a bigger bowl? All good. So far we've got onion, we've got cheese. If you're vegan, you can make vegan cheese. Has anyone made cheese in the Thermomix before? Type it in the chat if you like. So the recipe's there, I can see that question now. This is the spinach, feta and potato frittata. Emma's waiting, I'll just let her in. That's working, yeah, beautiful. And now we've got to do 10 eggs. So since I moved to the country, well, actually before I moved to the country, I inherited some beautiful little bantam chickens. So we've got a bit of a mix between my bantam eggs in here and my organic eggs. So there's quite a lot of eggs going on here, and 100 grams of fresh baby spinach. I'm using English spinach today. It doesn't matter what spinach. You could even use frozen, but just when you're doing that, you'll have to squeeze out the juice. And take some up. Lid on. Now I am going to take the measuring cup off at this point so I can push the spinach down. Because it's a lightweight thing, I may need to stick that in and push it down onto the blade. And the beauty of the spatula, these are the new spatulas if you haven't seen these, they're a lot more flexible. Just turn my other machine on. So I've got my good old trusty 31 going in the background. And we're just going to chop that. And transfer into a large bowl with cheese and onion and set aside. So do that. Now I'm actually just going to get that bowl. You can see I haven't made this for a while because I have to keep increasing my bowl size. The other beauty of the Thermomix is that you can really, and cooker dough, is that you really see that as it comes out what size that is all just done, is that you really can pick up a recipe on cooker dough and just go with it. I don't really come across any recipes that that don't work. Our recipes on Cookadoo Library are global recipes and they're triple tested. So you're pretty right just to follow the recipe and go with it. Rinse the mixing bowl. Well, I don't need to do that because I want a second bowl. And I'm just going to skip that. I'm going to put 800 grams of water in here. And place of aroma into position. Which would have, which is what I did earlier, just to make this a bit quicker for you. So your aroma would be going into position here. And in here, you've got your 350 grams of pumpkin, peeled and cut into cubes. Then you've also got your sweet potato, 350 grams of sweet potato in there as well, 300 grams of potato. And that's, I'm getting a facial right now. It's so hard making jokes and not hearing anyone laugh. Except for myself. So if you see me laughing at myself, just, you know, just, yes, it's a bit quiet at my end of this channel. And I'm a bit of a social person, so I like a chat. So that's going to steam for 10 minutes on the Roma. After that, it's asking you to check it and toss it all together and steam it again for another 10 minutes on the Roma. Well, I already did that. So, and I knew Gemma was steaming, so I knew seeing how you do the steaming. And then what you do is pop. The reason why I'm puffing is because I actually had to run down the shop because I needed some more ingredients and get those and then come back and cook them there for you. So we've got sweet potato. So ordinarily that would all be in the one for Roma, except I realised I was out of those ingredients a little late, so I did one and then I did the other. And then we're going to toss those all in. Toss that through this mixture. Bring this over here. Give that a stir through. Smells great. Oven's on. And then that goes in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. So obviously you're going to see the finished product a little bit later. And show you that at the end. You can be a bit prettier and make sure that's evenly popped in there. I'll just bring my camera down, make sure you can see that. And just give it a flatten, and then it becomes a bit of a nice vegetable bake, I suppose. This goes really beautifully if you've made some homemade chutneys. Beautiful with homemade chutney. Beautiful with a side salad. Is everyone on today? Are they vegetarian, or are they looking to get a little bit of a meat-free Monday in their life? Can anyone type in the chat? Double handling, so cheese goes on top. Is anyone salivating right now? I know I am. Look at that. How amazing does that look at the moment? Wow. In it goes. And how quick is that? How quick is that recipe? Obviously, the 20 minutes was in there for the steaming time, but so quick. The other thing I wanted to show you today is while that's in the oven, I really like to make use of my Thermomix while something's in the oven and baking. So I'm going to show you how to do a cauliflower. On our recipe on Cookadoo, I should show that again. I'll make sure I share the right screen this time. There we go. So on this, that was the one we just did, the feta, spinach and potato frittata. And on this one, it tells you it's the whole cauliflower with pea puree. Absolutely beautiful. Now, it does have a number of herbs and spices in there, and it's pretty easy. So you could piggyback off that recipe, which is what we're going to do, but we're just going to throw our own things in it. So I'll go into my weekly planner. Who's using the weekly planner and making the shopping list? Anyone?
Stand back to your vegetarians and who's just here for meat-free Monday. You've got a mixture of a bit of both. Annie's becoming a vegetarian. Hayley has family members who are vegetarians. Christy, meat-free Monday. Lots of vegetarian options are nice.
Oh, fantastic. That's fantastic. Awesome. A bit of a mix. So the kettle's just boiled. I'm just going to put 1,000 grams of water in that. That's going to hurry up the process of steaming. So what I did while Gemma was chatting is I skipped through some of the steps. You can do that a lot easier if you just click on the 3 dots on your screen, or if you've got your TM5, there's a little triangle underneath the picture, and then you click on recipe detail, and then you can click on the step that you need to be on. So you slide up, if you can see my screen okay, click on the step where it says place the water in, and you can skip straight to that step rather than clicking next, next, next. So it'll save you a lot more time. So we're going to pop some cauliflower in our aroma. Yep, I've got the right one. I've got multiple sheets and they don't all fit. And what I've put on here to start with is, it doesn't look so great at the moment, but it will, is olive oil, and I've got my brush, my pastry brush, I've brushed olive oil over it, and this is my homemade sauce, and I've put that on top. So if you don't have homemade sauce, make it, or get some, get some tomato paste. And in my cupboard, I've got my own spice mixes all made up. So I've got a taco seasoning mix. I have a Moroccan spice mix. Now I've got this, some of these are all on Cookadoo, so you just choose which one tickles your flavour. And this one is a Greek mix. So rather than me making a spice mix for this recipe, I've pre-done it. I'm going to use my nous, and I'm just going to sprinkle that onto my cauliflower, and it's just going to steam for 20 to 25 minutes, and that's it. If you've got, you can bake your cauliflower. I'll just give it a rub on top. Use my hand actually. Now if you've got some garlic salt, or you've got onion salt, that's beautiful on here. If you've got some herbs, that's lovely as well. Now don't throw out your cabbage leaves. Just going to pop that on. You can see my lid's not on. That's okay too, because nothing's going to steam until it gets up to temperature. So when you're using your aroma, if you wanted to start the recipe while you're still prepping what's in top, you can do that, and it'll save you time. It's also going to save me time because my temperature's already at 50 degrees, so it means I can shave off a bit of that cook time. Pop the lid on here, and it's going to cook away. Now, if I wanted to be more savvy, I could get my basket. Just get it. I can maximise my aroma time. So I could put some eggs in here because it's going to cook for 20 to 25 minutes. I could put something else in my basket. So I could put some corn, some quinoa, whatever it is that you want to cook, some eggs in there, and that sits inside the Thermomix bowl and steams away while this is steaming too. The other tip I want to give you about the aroma is if you're finding you're in a hurry and you need to get that to temp quicker, what you can do is increase your speed. So increase it to about, oops, I put it on reverse accidentally, increase it to 3, okay? And that'll push that steam up. You might even need to go up to 4. Increase that speed, and that'll push that steam up a lot faster and get to temp quicker. You will lose more water, so after 20 minutes of steaming, you need to check the liquid. And yeah, happy days. So who would be interested in doing a aroma specific class? Type in the chat there. And while that's cooking, we're going to head over to Gem, because I know Gem's got some more cooking to show you. Thanks, Gem.
Yep, already. Thanks, Sam. It's looking delicious in your kitchen. So my zucchinis are finished. Great tip is to use your lid to put your Roma down on so that you're not getting water everywhere like I normally do in my kitchen. So I'll just show you because they look really nice. And they smell delicious. So next step, just telling me to set the Roma aside, get rid of my water. But there's no need to clean the bowl yet. So it just wants a pinch of salt, some olive oil, which adapts for a tablespoon. I'm a bit of a, let's just give it a guess and chuck some in. The zucchini flesh that we popped out of our zucchini earlier, chuck that all in. Now, I asked us for the lid without the measuring cup, so mine's still not in from before, leave that out. Turning to speed 1 for 3 minutes. So that's just going to cook up the flesh of the zucchini and mix it all, cut it all up a little bit because it was still quite large. Now, while that's cooking, I wanted to show you what I would do while cooking. So I'm bringing you a bit closer, so hopefully you can see my screen. Sam had talked before about going in and checking your recipe details. This is where I would go ahead and check what I've got to do next. So hopefully you can see it well enough. Just, you see that?
Yep, Jem, that's a fantastic view. That's
Awesome.
really lovely and clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. So you can see on the side I've got all the ingredients I needed. Normally at home I wouldn't have everything prepared already, so I would go now and look down and find where we're up to, which we've done. Oops, I clicked it. Go back out. So we've added the flesh and we're cooking for 3 minutes. Next step is to put in some onions. So I'll get my onion. And I know from the side that it just wants half an onion, which I already have ready, so that's there ready to go. And the remaining olive oil, and we'll mix that. So that's fine, I've got all that ready. Keep going down. And I'll need my mushrooms, so I'll go get them all organised. Normally I'd chop them while I'm waiting, so no wasting any time stirring and waiting for things. I can also see that the time I've still got remaining while I'm looking. Whoopsie, I'm clicking buttons again. While I'm cooking up in the top, it still tells you how long you've got left to go, which is really handy while you're checking everything else out. I can also, which I really love, is use the scales while it's cooking. So another ingredient I need is my cream cheese. So again, pressing the 3 buttons, and there's a scale option, so hitting your scales. The scales come up for you. I'm just going to pop you out that way a little bit. I put just a bowl or something on top of the lid, which you can't really see very well. That's okay. And then I just measure in what I've got. So my cream cheese, I need 80 grams of it. Chuck some in. What are we at? About 65. Chuck in a little bit more. Perfect, 80. And so I can do all that while it's still cooking and be ready for the next step. Like Sam said, I could click on it and get ready for the next step straight away. What have I got? 10 seconds, beautiful. So this recipe actually asks us for bacon, but because obviously we're doing a vegetarian class today, I can easily change that out and use whatever I want to use instead. I've decided to use mushrooms because I love my mushrooms. And so I'm just going to adjust my time a little bit as well because I don't think my mushrooms need as long as the bacon normally would. So that's done. We're going to drain that out. So it just wants me to drain out the juices. So I've just got a little sieve here. Just pour in. Oops, sorry, wrong way around so you can't see. Sorry about that. I'm going to do a Sam and not have a bowl that's big enough.
I'm glad I'm not alone with that.
That'll do. And just put that aside and let the juices come out of the flesh of your zucchini. So that can sit aside while we keep going. That's all it asks me for. It does note not to clean out the bowl, so don't worry about your mess. Keep it in there. Put your onion that we got ready while it was cooking, pop that in there. Some more olive oil. Popping your lid on with the measuring cup this time. Cookie Do tells you all those instructions, so you don't have to remember what you're up to. And just for 3 seconds on speed 5, just chopping up your onion.
Gemma, I just want to tell you what a fantastic job you're doing, and there's a few people who have commented that. Gemma started 3 days ago. We did all her training last week intensely, and she's just brilliant. I'm so proud, Gemma. Well done.
Thanks, Sam. I do very badly talking in front of people, so I'm a bit nervous. So thank you. Next up is asking for the bacon, but like I said, I've substituted it for mushrooms. So they're going in with my chopped up onions. It then asks us to cook the bacon for 8 minutes, but because, like I said, I don't think it will need as long, I'm just going to adjust it. So I'll bring it up so you can see it, because hopefully you can see my screen quite clearly. I think it's fantastic to be able to see what it does. So you can click on whichever dial you want and then just adjust. So that's 8 minutes. I'm just going to wind that back down to, I'll go for about 4 and see how it is then. And then you just switch it on to 1, and that's just going to cook up for me. So Sam, I think I'm going to flick back to you or whoever's next, and we can come back and see it when it's finished.
Yes. Awesome, Gem. Thank you so much. We're going to go, that's brilliant. Just before we move over to Annie, I just had a thought, Gemma, with the big bowls. I could have been using the thermos to put my stuff in. So this is actually a gift with purchase at the moment, along with the Everyday Cookbook. So you're getting this and this. And look, I can tell you I can't announce on Facebook, but because you come today, I can announce to you. You can make a choice. So if you're thinking about a purchase of a machine, at the moment you're getting this. You're getting your consultant, which is priceless. Now, if you wanted to, if you love the vegetarian book more, that would be one of your options for next month. So talk to your consultant and she can fill you in on all of those things as well. All right, over to you, Annie. Are you ready?
Thanks, guys. I'm cooking not from Cookie Do today, and I'm actually cooking with the TM5. So my TM6 is out on loan to a lovely customer at the moment, and so I've got 2 5s here, and I know that there's a lot of people on that own 5s and own 31s, and I, like a few consultants, own all of them and love them. So thank you for coming along today. What I wanted to do was, did Sam show you this vegetarian cookbook that we've got? And you can get that on Cookie Do, or you can purchase it from the mix shop. But it has an amazing number of recipes in it, which is great. But what I'm cooking from today is the Thermomix magazine. And this is the particular volume that I'm cooking from, and it's the issue 11, Autumn Winter 2018. So I'm making beetroot patties, and I'm sorry I can't bring the screen up for you because I'm working solo here at the moment. So and I've got my recipe. Forgive me. So we're going to start. These are a beautiful recipe, and I've made it several times. I have a vegetarian daughter and she loves it. So we're going to start by milling some rolled oats. So we place in 100 grams of rolled oats. So tear off my screen, you can't see it, but I'm putting in 100 grams of rolled oats. and placing the lid on and the measuring cup. And then I'm typing in 4 seconds. And speed 9, and then we're going to set this aside. So around to speed 9, it'll be a bit noisy. Beautiful. Just a little safety delay with the arms opening, and that's mushed our rolled oats down. Then it asks for another bowl, just happen to have one here, so let's use that. And it says to set aside the oats. Now, it wants 100 grams of lentils, and I weigh them into my steamer basket, and it's asking me to rinse them thoroughly. So we've got them in. And then I'm going to add some water to that, 600 grams of water into the bowl. So I've pre-measured that. And then put the lid on, and we're going to cook this for 10 minutes on 100 degrees and speed 4. Now, I knew there'd be a little lag while I cooked that, so I've just gone a bit rogue on Sam, and I'm going to make in my other Thermomix a roasted cauliflower salad. So if I can screen share this. This is on cookie dough, and it's by Nico Moretti, and he is a fabulous chef that I follow, and he's one of the first owners of a Thermomix in Australia. And so he started with the 21. So we've had the 21, the 31, the 5, and the 6. So this is the recipe I'm making. And so I'll just go and do it manually over here with my phone. So forgive me while I just bring up the recipe. So what we're going to do is dry roast 1.5 teaspoons of cumin seeds, 1.5 teaspoons of coriander, a teaspoon of fennel in the Thermomix. So this takes 2 minutes on aroma, speed 2, and then you can mill it. So a little hint when you're milling seeds in your Thermomix, especially small quantities. So that's like about 3 tablespoons of seeds. You put the steamer basket on top and place the lid on it and loosen up, and then grind away. That keeps the seeds down on the bowl, on the blades, I should say. So it's just a little tip for milling small quantities of things. So like, say for instance, if you're making shortbread and you want to make some rice flour, I would do the same thing then as well. So also in this recipe is 1.5 teaspoons of paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of chili powder, some salt and some pepper. And what you do is you mix all those into a spice rub, which I hate to say it, but I've prepared it earlier here. And then you break up your cauliflower into florets, rub some olive oil on top of it. Once again, which I've done earlier. And then you spread the meat on top. So in order not to get messy hands, I'm just going to put some gloves on here. So just reiterating what we've got in there. So we've got a large cauliflower broken into florets, some olive oil. We roasted some cumin seeds, some coriander and some fennel, and then milled it down. Then we added some paprika, some ground cumin and some chili seeds, a chili powder with salt and pepper. Now this roast cauliflower salad is actually from Nico's book, but he's got it in a collection on Cookie Do as well. I recommend this book. I would cook 20 recipes out of this book. It's amazing. And you can buy it directly from Nico. And it's got a lovely dressing on it, which I'll talk about in a moment. So what I basically do is just mix this spice mix over the cauliflower, and then we roast it. Sorry. My assistant was coming from the bedroom. She would bring the camera over and show you what I'm doing. He's busy studying, so that's not happening. So basically what I'm doing is just spreading that spice mix over the top. Now Sam spoke about spice mixes before, and I also make a whole lot of them. And once I've done this, I'll just show you how I store my spice mixes. So what I've done is I've just tipped that rub over the cauliflower, and now I'm going to put that onto a tray and I'm going to roast it. So this is a roast spiced cauliflower. I do hope that this will finish in time for us to see it today, but I'll just pop that in the oven, which you can't see, I'm so sorry.
This recipe is going to be similar, well, not the same mix, but it will be similar to the cauliflower taco that I spoke about earlier with the chipotle sauce. Cauliflower is beautiful if you're not using it already. It's a bit expensive at the moment though.
So what I want to do is show you my Mobins. This is how I store my spices. They come in a row of 6 small ones or 4 large ones. And you can buy these on the mix shop. And I absolutely love it because, let me just show you. My Thermomixes are here and my spices are directly behind me. So like Sam, I've got a taco seasoning. This is a Tex-Mex one. This is a porcini and shiitake powder one that I make as well, amongst some others that I've got here. But how fabulous is that, to have your spices just where you work? So with this salad, it's got the most beautiful dressing in it. The dressing consists of yogurt, so 200 grams of yogurt, and I've got it in here, it's really hard to see, but I've got 200 grams of yogurt, a teaspoon of honey, a teaspoon of garlic, and then I'm adding to that some chopped mint, which I prepared earlier and I can't find it. There it is. So 2 tablespoons of chopped mint, and then you mix this together. So once the cauliflower is roasted, you serve it with some toasted pistachios and some pomegranate aerials. Now, pomegranates are in season at the moment and cauliflowers are around as well. So this is a seasonal dish and it's lovely. I don't know if you're aware of how to de-seed a pomegranate. There's lots of different ways, and my tried method is to cut a pomegranate in half. So we've got it in half, and then get my trusty rolling pin, and I'll just do it here over my hand, and you just bash the outside of it, and they fall out.
I'm going to give you another tip.
These are just delicious. So if you've seen pomegranates in the supermarket and gone, wow, I don't know if I'd ever use them, what would I use them for? Make this salad. We absolutely love the salad. I make it all year round whenever I can get pomegranates. So it's called spiced roast cauliflower and pomegranate salad. Let me just have a look. And it's on the Nico Moretti collection. Let me find the picture. So spiced roast cauliflower salad. It with a minted yogurt dressing. So the cauliflower's roasting, we've made the dressing. I've pre-roasted the pistachio nuts, and we've got 1 minute left to go on our lentils here. So I'll just go through what else is in these beetroot burgers. So just remembering that we milled our rolled oats down to fine, and now we're cooking our red lentils. Next, we're going to add a red onion, peeled and quartered, 2 garlic cloves, some macadamia oil. We need 500 to 700 grams of beetroot, 150 grams of carrots, some fresh mint, coconut sugar, apple cider vinegar, smoked paprika, allspice, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and chia seeds. Now, I didn't have enough pumpkin seeds, and you know, in these times when you just make do with whatever you've got. So instead of, I think I've got 10 grams of pumpkin seeds, I'm adding another 40 grams of sunflower seeds. You know, you just use what you've got to use. So we'll work on our second bowl here and get the next part happening. So in this bowl here, I'm going to add 1 red onion and 2 cloves of garlic. And I'm going to place the lid on and I'm going to mix it for 5 seconds on speed 5. So Sam mentioned before, when you're chopping onions, that speed 5 gives you a reasonably good chop. So no crying over onions anymore. It does it beautifully. Now it says to scrape down the bowl, which we'll do. Scrape down the onion. And now we're going to add 15 grams of macadamia oil. You don't have to use macadamia if you don't want to, but I happen to have it. And I bought this brand from the supermarket. So 15 grams of macadamia oil. Remember when you're measuring oil in to stop 5 grams before the required amount, because often it just lags behind a little bit with its measurement. And we're going to saute that for 5 minutes, 100 degrees, speed 5.
Annie, while that's sauteing, I might move over to Mon because she's going to do a cashew dip. Is that okay? Have you got something?
Fine, that's fine.
Can I, okay, Mon, over to you.
I didn't show you this before, but I was meant to pipe the filling for the cannelloni, which is chop your spinach for 3 seconds, add your pumpkin, add your ricotta, mix it up in your bowl, put it into a plastic bag, and then just chop the little corner off. This is if you don't have a piping bag. And you just fill up each cannelloni as easy as that with a plastic bag. And then you lie them down, pour your sauce on top, put it in the oven, and then you'll have your cannelloni all cooked and ready. So the cashew dip, this sour cream, it's actually a sour cream. This sour cream is amazing. It is easy and quick, and it's great if you don't have dairy. So my daughter's lactose intolerant, which seems to be a common thing happening these days, and it's a great option from it's a great option to swap out for dairy. Sorry, I was meant to have it up and I didn't. So this dip can be used, oh shoot, this dip can be used on your nachos, in your Mexican beef. What other things?
While you find that dip, Mon,
Yeah, I found it.
found it?
Yeah, so we can start cooking. So 3 sprigs of chives, they're fresh out of the garden. A garlic clove, insert the measuring cup. Next, this cookadoo is such a life changer. Next, transfer into a bowl and set aside. Because I've got a second bowl, I'm just going to set that one aside. Put the second bowl on. The cashews, 120 grams, 150 grams of water. I'm getting hungry just thinking about this because it tastes so amazing. If you haven't tried it, definitely try it. You'll be absolutely amazed. In some ways, it actually tastes better than sour cream. A teaspoon of salt, 60 grams of brown onion, 40 grams of lemon juice. Great tip with lemons, if you've got a lemon tree, squeeze them and freeze them and peel them and freeze all the bits and pieces, and you'll always have lemon right throughout the year. Set the measuring cup. Okay, just give it a second to open. Check that out. That was cashews 20 seconds ago. So just scraping down the sides quickly. Next, insert the measuring cup again. Next, and that's going to cook for 5 minutes and be ready. It's as simple as that. Sour cream, like, you just can't beat it. Back to you, Sam.
Thanks, Mon. I actually prepared some guacamole yesterday, another beautiful vegetarian recipe, and I'm going to serve it tonight as a little canapé. I'm a bit of a fan of canapés, and I've just made some little wonton cups, and I've put some guacamole in there. I've made some salsa as well, and that cashew sour cream you've made would go beautiful with one of these. Make a little boat. So if you don't know what the wonton wrappers look like, just go to your fresh section in your supermarket and you can find them, and they look like this. And at another one of other cooking classes, I talk to you a bit more about that as well. Before we go over to Annie, I do have a tip for you regarding pomegranates. You can actually de-seed your pomegranates in Thermomix. So did anyone know that?
Yes.
You did? Awesome. So all your de-seeding, so cardamom pods, pomegranates, you pop them in. Pomegranates need to be quartered, and then you pop them in your Thermomix, speed 4 on reverse for 5 seconds. And that's just as... I've just got someone on the speaker. That's as easy as it. And if you do cardamom pods, same things, pop your cardamom pods in there on reverse speed 4 for 5 seconds. So I hope that's a game changer for some of you. It certainly is for me. And I think Gemma's got her dish ready. Give me a nod, Gem. Yep, she does. I've got one of my dishes ready. This is a cauliflower, whole cauliflower. I'm just going to cut it for you and show you. So you see Annie's still doing something there. Pop that aside. Takes 20 minutes, beautiful. And it was beautifully, and it was lovely and steamed. And it's gorgeously cooked in there. So we're going to eat that for our dinner. And my bake is still in the oven. And I'm going to add my leaves to the fry pan with some garlic. And I might even put it on here for high heat and saute it. And I'm going to serve that with them as well. So Jem, I just want you to give a show and tell about what your finished product looks like. And then we'll go back to Annie.
We had that one last step. I'll be probably 2 minutes, I reckon. So I've just got to add the cream cheese to my onion and mushroom mix, an egg, which I was just going to show you. I might skip that step and I'll do that at the end. A pinch of nutmeg, the reserved zucchini flesh that we cooked up earlier, the 50 grams of grated cheese, and I used my Thermo to grate that before this started. Now my trick with my egg, so that I don't have to worry about using a different bowl, I just use my measuring cup up the top, crack my egg into it, and then I can get rid of any shell if I was to do that, which I'm fine, and then you can just stick that in. That's just going to mix for on reverse for 10 seconds. So bear with me and I'll show you that. That's going to cook in the oven for about 20 minutes. So I've preheated my oven to 200 degrees and I'll pop that in. And so I'll post a photo of mine on the Facebook event later on so you can see. So you obviously don't have to hang around. But let's just see how that looks. So that's, if you can see, the stuffing for the zucchini. So I'll just pop one in the zucchini and give you a look. Come on over. Let's see. So you can see there I've just done a couple of zucchini, so and we'll roast that and hopefully they'll turn out nice and yummy for us. Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Jem. I think mine's nearly done as well. So back over to you, Annie. How are you going in your kitchen?
Good. So those, the onion and the red onion and the garlic have sauteed for 5 minutes. We've cooked the lentils, we've pureed the rolled oats. So now we're going to add the beetroot to the bowl. So we've got 500 to 700 grams of beetroot, whatever, this is basically 2 beetroot. I've peeled them and quartered them. They're going into the Thermomix. And then we add 150 grams of carrots. I washed them and didn't peel them, and they are going in as well. Cut them into yay-sized pieces. And then it says a handful of mint leaves, which I very kindly got from Marie Watts, who's on here today, and she's my neighbour. So that came fresh out of her garden this morning. So we place the lid on, and then we chop this. It will be noisy, and I will find a measuring cup here. So we're going to chop this, 5 seconds, speed 5, but we will just check it as well, because often with beetroot you need to really do it again. So 5 seconds. So what we're looking for is a fine chop, not mush, hence the speed 5. And this is looking like the consistency of the beetroot salad. So I want just to stir through that and check that I have got it all done. And to be honest, I'm actually going to, there's a couple of bits in there, so I'm just going to do it for another 2 seconds. Speed 5. And check it. It's better to be on the side of caution than to make it into a mush. And speaking of mush, you know how sometimes when you're doing meat dishes, it just breaks up, and when you're doing a chicken dish, that we recommend that you use chicken thigh rather than breast. But some of you may or may not know, but we've got a device called a blade cover that's coming into the Mix-It shop very soon to put on the top of your blades in the TM5 and the TM6 to stop your meat dishes going to mush. I'm just going to give that 2 more seconds. Beautiful. Now, we've added back in the onion, which I just sauteed, and the garlic. And then we've got 10 grams of coconut sugar in, and 10 grams of apple cider vinegar. So I'll just bring my scale up and pour in 10 grams of that. A tablespoon of paprika out of my Modin spice rack. So today I'm using a smoked spiced paprika, just to add a bit more depth to the flavour. You can use a sweet paprika or you can use a smoked spiced paprika. And then 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. Making sure I've got the right one there. And that just goes back into my pan. So some salt, carefully measured into my hand. And now we have some sunflower seeds. So 60 grams of sunflower seeds, and then 50 grams of pumpkin seeds, but there's only 10 grams, so we'll throw in a few more sunflower seeds into it. Some chia seeds. So 40 grams of chia seeds, which I've just pre-weighed out. You would use your scale to do that. And then the reserve lentils, which I just spread out to cool, and in they go. And then the reserved rolled oats. So it's good having 2 bowls. Beautiful. And now we're going to cook this for 3 minutes, 70 degrees, speed 2 on reverse. So let's just go home, 3 minutes. 70 degrees, reverse, and speed 2. So then what I'm going to do is shape it into patties and then pan fry it and then set it up. So whether we have time for that today or not, but I just thoroughly recommend that you make this recipe. This is absolutely delicious. And before I just mix it, it makes a huge quantity. I don't know if I can show you, but so we will be eating Big Treat burgers for quite some time. There'll be some going in the freezer as well. But they're a really nice thing to have in the morning with some eggs as well. So that's basically it for me. So when you shake them with wet hands so that it holds together better. The chia seed acts like an egg in other dishes, but the chia seed helps to bind them together. If there's any questions, pop it in the chat, and just letting you know that I got it from the Thermomix magazine. You can order these. This is obviously an older one, but you can back order these from Thermomix online. I have the whole collection of them, and I cook from them quite frequently. So just reminding you, it was issue 11, autumn to winter 2018. There is a new magazine coming out very soon. They're shooting the dishes for it now. They're photographing them, so it won't be long, and you can get it from your news agency. If you subscribe to it, you also get online content as well. So if there's any questions, pop it in the chat, and I'll have a look and answer anything. So over to you, Sam, is that right?
Yep, thanks, Annie. Thank you. I'm sure everyone's getting really hungry right now, especially when we start to pull things like this out of the oven. I just want to bring that down and show you. So that's the pie that I did earlier, the spinach and the potato. So it's a big frittata, and when you cut that, you really need to let it cool, otherwise when you cut it, it's going to be sort of a little bit sloppier. So let it cool so it firms up a little bit, and we're going to have a really beautiful feast with that, serving it with some chutney as well. Gemma or Mon, do you have anything that you need to show? I can see you've got your Thermomixes are there. So take yourself off mute, Mon. I did it.
Alright, so yeah, so the cashew dip's finished. Super quick, super easy, and very tasty. And the cannelloni is cooked and ready to go with those fried sage leaves. That's all.
Perfect, Mon, perfect. So sometimes it's called a cashew dip, sometimes it's called cashew cream. It's a bit interchangeable because it's so yummy. Jem, how are you going in your kitchen?
I think they need just a little bit longer in the oven yet. So I'll probably just send a photo, I think, to see the finished result, but they smell so good. And I tried a little bit of the mix and it is delicious.
Yeah, I absolutely love that recipe. If you've got fussy kids, as I said in the chat earlier on, that recipe is such a beautiful one to get them to eat vegetables. I'm gonna finish up. I have put in the chat group about our next cooking class. So just a little bit before Mother's Day, and I'm just going to check with Annie in a minute if she's got anything else to say. Yeah, so we're going to be doing a high tea and helping you, inspire you with all of that. Has anyone got any questions before we finish up? And if you could just please, I'm not doing a survey today, so if you could please type in the chat what you've had in, sorry, I'm all tongue-tied, what you've enjoyed about today. Is there any recipe that we've made today that has inspired you to go and make it? And if you'd like some more information on any of the things that we spoke about today, love you to pop that into the chat. I can see Annie's got something plated up ready to show us, so we'll just flip over to Annie.
Thanks, guys. This was another dish that I wanted to share with you. It's from the actual same magazine. It's curried lentil sausage rolls. So I've made the pastry. So it's a quick puff pastry from your basic, let me just turn that off, it's too noisy. A quick puff pastry from your basic cookbook. And so these are curried lentil sausage rolls. They've got 2 carrots, a zucchini, brown onion, garlic, ginger. I put a little bit of turmeric in it because I had it, coconut oil, curry powder, just your regular Keen's or whatever you like to use, mustard seeds, ground cumin, 200 grams of red lentils, and you cook the lentils in water, and there's some stock concentrate, like our vegetable stock concentrate, and then a tablespoon of tomato paste. So basically you chop the carrots and the zucchini, and you saute your onion, you add your curry powder, etc., and your stock, and you cook it for 18 minutes, and then you add in your chopped carrot and zucchini back into the cooked lentils, and then you let it set for a couple of hours to cool and thicken, or overnight, which I did, and then I made them this morning. So these are the curried sausage rolls. So I did a Facebook Live yesterday on my Facebook page, Thermo Bentigo, when I was making these, just to share with you. And I also made a lovely tomato chutney. It only takes an hour, and it's in that cookbook. I can't find the jar of it. My family's been eating it today because behind the scenes they've been eating the sausage rolls. But here's a little picture of it. So it's really simple. I got some lovely Roma tomatoes from Edwards yesterday. It's got brown onions, garlic, olive oil, 1.2 kilos of tomatoes. I use Romas, 50 grams of red wine vinegar, 40 grams of brown sugar, sweet paprika, salt, chili flakes, and it's optional to put sultanas in at the end. And basically, you just place it all in and cook it. It's really quick. It takes an hour on Baroma, and it's absolutely delicious. And it will keep in your fridge for up to 6 months, but no kidding, this will be gone with these beetroot burgers and the lentil sausage rolls. This batch will be gone tomorrow. I know it. I will work on my veggie burgers, and we will post a photo of it later. So thank you very much for joining us today. Back to you, Sam.
Thank you, Annie. We're getting some really lovely comments coming through the chat, and we're really pleased that we're standing by our team name of Team Inspire, and I'm just really thankful that our girls today have taken the time out. These classes have been free, so we really appreciate if you do make any food, tag us, and we'd love to see your creations after that. We're going to finish. The consultants will post some pictures on the event to show you the finished products a bit close up. And if you have any questions, chat to your consultant. And if you don't have one and you've been invited by one of us today, chat to us. Thank you so much, everybody.